This video is kind of dangerous to make, isn't it? I'm gonna make the most of the fact that everyone's like working from home, quarantined, locked down, and I am safely in my apartment to make this video. Okay, I'm gonna just go straight for it. I am born and raised English, for those of you who don't already know this, and I moved to Sweden a few years ago. And these are my top 10 things that I have noticed about Swedish people. And I live in the Gothenburg-ish area, so I'm just gonna disclaim that right away. Sorry, Stockholmers, if you disagree with these. I apologize to the Swedish nation now, but you can't kick me out because there aren't any flights going, so let's do this. Number 1, coffee! Oh my god. Swedes and coffee. I'm not even gonna go into this. Coffee. Wow. Number 2, if you smile or say like hi on the street to a random Swedish person, 9 times out of 10 they will look at you with this like the weirdest expression on their face because they're just trying to work out like, how do I know you? And that is so funny because you just don't really do that here. You don't talk to people, you don't just say hi to random people, especially in more city areas. Like we're in a kind of small city here. I think in the countryside it's probably more common, but yeah, even in the smaller like towns and cities, you don't really tend to do that, and people look at you a bit weird. I would not recommend. And it was really weird for me to get used to that as well because we're strangely friendly in England. Oh my god. Number 3, Swedish people are generally fit and healthy. And this isn't just my observational view that there are significantly less fat people around the place, which there are. They also really love their sports, and I notice a lot of people tend to take a lot of interest in a whole huge variety of sports, which is really fun. And also kids got a lot of opportunities to do things that maybe are a little bit more of a wider variety of sports than what I was used to when I grew up. But if you want even actual proof of this, you can check out the Bloomberg's 2019 Healthiest Country Index, and you will see that Sweden is actually ranked 6 in the world for health overall. You can take a look at that if you're interested and how it's all put together. You're kind of ranked on different things. If there's more obesity in your country, you lose points and so on and so forth. But it's pretty cool. The UK, if you're interested, is actually rank 19. I know. But good job, Sweden. You beat Norway, Finland, and Denmark. Proud of you. Proud of you. Number 4 is that Swedish people look so good. They look weirdly clean. Like, really. I mean, anywhere you go, you just walk down the street and most of them, especially the men, which is the weirdest thing for me, because British guys, from my experience, don't tend to put in really any effort, but Swedish guys seem to put in a lot more effort. They are really fashionable, and yeah, they're like the elven people of humanity. I feel like they look so good. They literally look so good. Their homes as well. The homes all look like an IKEA catalogue. There's probably a reason for that, but I'm not brave enough to go into it. Everyone buys their stuff from IKEA. I'm gonna get but as far as people go and fashion, they always look so good, and everywhere. If you go to a supermarket in England, even if you go to like Waitrose or something, there's generally people that are wearing something that's not like super tidy. There's always, especially in the average supermarket, there's always people walking around with like tracksuit bottoms or like a hoodie or something. But yeah, that just doesn't really feel like it's a thing here. It's just everyone just looks presentable all the time. It's high maintenance. I can't keep up. Please, Sweden, wear a tracksuit. Wear a tracksuit. For me. Do it for me. Please. Thank you. Okay, number 5 is Swedish people are really understanding of everyone's situation and preference. And I think this is amazing. You might have already heard this because Sweden's quite well known for it, but it is definitely true from what I've experienced. Whether you're gay, transgender, straight, fat, thin, foreign, like whatever you are, people just accept you because, I mean, I think it's beautiful. At the end of the day, you are human. And Swedish people just see that. You're human no matter what, and they're really accommodating. Number 6 is that privacy is so expected in Sweden that a lot of people don't use their blinds or curtains at nighttime. This was a big shock to me, and I spoke to a few friends about it, and they were just like, what? You're so weird. But yeah, a lot of people I've noticed, and wherever I've been, at nighttime, a lot of the blinds or curtains just aren't used. And that was such a surprise to me because I'm like, aren't people just looking in and seeing what you're doing? Isn't that really weird? Don't you want the privacy? And then it was more people like judging me, like, why are you looking into people's houses though? That's so weird. Like, wow, give them some privacy. And I was like, yeah, okay, sorry. I'm English, we're nosy. Can't help it. So if you see me around, close your curtains because I'm pretty nosy. We're English, that's what we do. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool as well that Swedish people, it feels like they trust each other a lot, that they don't even need to use them. They're gonna get the privacy. And also this happens, I noticed, with gardens. When you have a house in England, you typically put a fence up around your border of your garden and like big hedges or trees or something like, this is my land, go away. This is us, privacy, our house, our property. Yeah, but here it feels much more like, especially in the countryside, they don't often even have borders. Sometimes there might be like a little dip in the grass where it goes from one person's land to another. Sometimes there's like a really small, like low fence, but it will be usually a metal, like see-through one anyway. So yeah, that was kind of strange for me that they don't really take up on the privacy aspect of life, but also kind of cool as well because they seem like people are a little bit more friendly between their neighbors maybe. Number 7 is that people are really understanding and supportive of you needing time off work here. I noticed that usually in England, it's really frowned upon everywhere I've been. Like, oh, you need a sick day? Really? Like, what do you have? What's the issue? You have the sniffles? Well, I mean, can't you work with the cough? Like, really? Like, that's how people are. They're quite judgmental, and people will often come in even when they are sick, and they have to feel really, really, really bad. Like, they're struggling, like, can I drive home at this point? Am I so sick that I won't be able to drive home? At that point, that's when they're like, okay, I probably need to go home now because I won't be able to get myself home later or something. But here, not only did I find that managers tend to be quite supportive of it, they're never judgmental. They never really come across with their opinion. It's more like, you're sick, then take a sick day. That's it. Like, there's no really judgment, but especially the people I've worked with were really, really supportive. I mean, I've worked with like different people in Sweden, but the last place I was working, my team was so nice anyway, and they were pretty much all Swedish. They were really, really friendly, and they're just like, I don't know, the whole company was really friendly. They were really nice people. So it was like, yeah, if you're sick, if you have a cold and you don't want other people to spread it, like, dude, go home. And especially if it's mental health as well, if you have something that's, you know, being an issue for you, that's also encouraged, which was totally not a thing for me when I was in England. It was like, you have mental health issues? What is that? So Swedish people, without blithering on too long, I just think they're very supportive and understanding that people can't always work 24/7 all the time. And as a side point, but kind of connected to this also goes for looking after your children. They have a thing here called VAB, and that is basically you need to take time off to look after your child. So if your child is sick or anything really, you have a certain amount of days that you can take for the child. I think it's between like when they're born to when they're about 10. I'm not actually sure what the end age for that is, but they have like a certain amount of days they can take every year to look after the child, which I thought was super cool. I don't know how that works in England, but I've never heard of anyone in the office being like, oh guys, I'm gonna take a VAB day or something. You know, it was totally not a thing. It was like a big hassle, a big drama if someone's kid's school phone, like, oh, your kid's broken their arm. Like, what? No, I'm working. Yeah, so super cool. Number 8 is that people are gonna hate me for this. Like, if the dislikes are coming in, I think it might be for this. I think so. Food. let's talk about food, Sweden. Traditional Taco Friday. I don't know, I didn't expect that either when I came to Sweden. But here we are. There's only one meal that Swedish people actually eat. It looks like this. It is Swedish meatballs with boiled potatoes and peas. It is always traditionally served on an IKEA tray. No, I'm just joking. No, it's actually really good. Swedish meatballs are great. But aside from that, there's not really too much else that Swedish people will tell you is like, oh, try this, it's Swedish. Swedish people don't like Swedish food. I'm gonna say it. Most people, Swedish people seem to always be wanting sushi or like a Korean bibimbap or something, or Taco Friday night. They always have tacos on a Friday night. That seems to be a massive thing. And it's really kind of rare that you see people be like, oh, let's have a good old Swedish meal tonight. But there's also a lot of other stuff. Did you know they eat moose? How badass is that? Have you seen how big these things are? I mean, look at that. Look at it. It's huge. And they go and they hunt them and they turn them into sausages. Badass Vikings. Yes. Number 9 is that I notice a lot of Swedes really enjoy the absolutely beautiful country they have. It is so pretty a country here. There are lakes everywhere. There's forest everywhere. I actually did in the, oh, what is it? I'm gonna link it like up. Oh no, I'm one of those YouTubers. Which side is it? It's somewhere. I'm gonna link it. But yeah, I did a video about like the hike to Team Trees, talking about Team Trees when that was a thing. And I think when I researched it, it was like 54%, I think. I don't know, you can watch the video. But yeah, a huge proportion of this country is just forest. And Swedes really make the most of that. I've seen a lot of, or heard of a lot of families typically go camping or go hiking together. A lot of people just even have a picnic by one of the many lakes. It doesn't take long to get to a lake. That was so cool for me. I love being by the water, and even though in England I wasn't that far from the coast, around like Felixstowe and Harwich and stuff, still it's just not really the same, because you go and it's often quite windy because you're right on the sea. So it's like cold sea and it's like, oh, I don't know, it's not that nice. But here it was really nice, picturesque, calm lakes. Yeah, you can see right now, I'll just put an insert from one of my other videos in case you were interested, but this is really close to me and this is super, super common. This area just, yeah, like lakes, they're everywhere. It's beautiful and Swedish people make the most of it, which I think is really cool. Okay, number 10, this is my last one. Swedish people handle their drink. Yeah, that's coming from an English person. We literally grow up in pubs in England. Literally, there are playgrounds for the children when your family go to a pub. Holy moly. I'm not really a big drinker, but I mean, yeah. Oh yeah. I don't want to say too much about this before I offend someone. They handle their drink, let's put it that way. Talking about drink though, you actually, it's kind of strange here for me because they have a thing, I'm gonna say this so wrong, aren't I? They have a specific shop called Systembolaget, and it's run by the government if I'm not mistaken, but that's like the place you get alcohol. You can get really, really, really weak, I don't know what percent it goes up to, but it's really weak stuff you can get in the supermarket, or non-alcoholic in the supermarket. But if you want to actually get normal wine, beer, anything, spirits, all that alcohol is in these shops, and they only open at certain times. It can be quite difficult to get hold of alcohol when you're not used to it, because if I think like on a Sunday afternoon, I would like to make a Sunday roast dinner tonight and we'll go get some red wine. Nope, it's closed on Sundays. Or if you want something like, I don't know, 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, oh, we should have a glass of wine tonight. Why don't we go and, I don't know, get some alcohol? And like, nope, it's closed now. So that's really strange for me. For any Swedish people that aren't used to the alternative, I actually, in England, we have it just in the supermarkets. in corner shops. If you have a license to sell alcohol, you sell alcohol. So it's really easy to get hold of. And yeah, Tesco and Asda and all of our supermarkets, they're open usually 24/7. So you can literally get hold of alcohol whenever you want, at any point. 3 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, like, yeah. You can get hold of anything, really. It sounds kind of irresponsible now I think about it, but yeah, that's how we have it. That is all for now. I really hope that you guys don't kick me out of your country. Thank you so much for joining me on this video, and if you made it this far, I think you should subscribe. Definitely. I mean, if you put up with me for this long, I think you should like and subscribe. That's just my opinion. Did you subscribe? Yeah? Joking aside. I hope you really found it fun. If you did and you're still here, please do like and subscribe the video. It helps me a huge amount. And of course, from your English friend, keep calm, carry on, and take care of each other, take care of yourself. And I hope during this great time of that you are safe, and I wish you and your family are all safe as well. Take care and see you next time. Bye!